Welcome to this new Triggre Weekend Masterclass. And in this masterclass, I'm going to show you how you can extend the template to support quotations. What we're going to do today is, in the previous episode, we've created a process where the customer can accept or reject the offered quotation using the Triggre portal. And now we are going to extend this process by sending the customer reminders if they still have open quotations. And that will save time of the sales employees because they don't have to keep track of which quotations are still open, and they don't have to remind themselves to send a reminder to the customer, and they don't have to write it down because it's already created within the application. So saves some time for the sales employees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you first what I've changed within the normal application, and after that I'm going to show you what I've changed in the designer to make this all happen. What I've did in the actual application isn't that much. The only thing that I did is at send quotations, I added a column which states a reminder sent on. That way the sales employee can easily see if a reminder has been sent, yes or no. Besides that, I also created an application settings page. And the reason why I did that is because when you work with emails, it's very important that you don't accidentally send emails to the wrong person. However, you do want to test your emails. So what I've did is I've created some application settings where I can fill out the following information: the environment, the default from, for instance, no reply at triggre.com, the default to, and for instance, in this case, on the lab environment, I would like the system to always send the email to myself. And I'm also going to add a subject prefix, because if I don't, and you go live, you don't see the difference between an email sent from the lab environment and an email sent from the main environment. And it can give you sleepless nights, I can tell you that. Just a small tip. Furthermore, I would like to create a setting after how many days I'm going to send a reminder. Of course, you can do this within the designer itself with a specific number. However, in my experience, users of an application tend to change this value after a while. And when they do, you don't want to republish your application. So sometimes it's just easier to create a setting for that in the application. So in this case, I choose 8 days. And that's what I say. So let's go to the designer and I will show you what I've created to send out all those notifications. I added a data item application settings, which I just showed you, but I also altered the quotations data item where I added a property when we sent the reminder, which you can see over here, which is a date time. Also, I created a flow part to send these reminders, which I call send reminder after X days, mail. And the reason why I use the word mail in this flow part is because, every flow part that contains an email that needs to be sent, I add that word so I can easily search for that specific flow part. So what I do here is I do a lookup on the application settings because that's what I need further along the road. And I take all the quotations that I need to remind. And what's important here is that the status is sent to customer, because then it's still open. And as you can see here, we have a calculation date, which is larger or equal to the number of days added to the date of the quotation. And it needs to be larger than a number of days added to the reminder that the last time we sent the reminder. And the reason why we do this is because at first, the reminder date sent on is empty. So if we would only use this clause, as soon as the quotation has been sent, we would automatically send out the reminder. Well, typically people don't like it that much when you remind them instantly about something. So that's why we also need to check if the quotation has been created 8 days ago. So we take all those quotations and we use a repeat action to send a reminder for each and every quotation. Well, this is where you can see why we created the application settings, because first we create a subject, and that subject contains of the subject prefix plus the reminder to review quotation, and I also add the number because it's easier to check what I'm talking about based on the subject itself. Then we have the environment, and when we are on the main environment, we are going to send it to the email address of the customer, and if we're on a different environment, we send it to the default to email address which we defined in the application settings. And after that, we of course send the email itself. In the end, we also have an update action to update the reminder sent on for every quotation. In this case, I added this update action outside of the repeat action, because if I would have added it within the repeat action, I would have an action for every repeated item that we have. So if I have to send reminders for 5 quotations, I would add 5 actions to my application, while in this case, I only add 1. So it does something with performance, and it also does something with your subscription plan. Please view the other Triggre Weekend Masterclass episode for that we've created before. Well, we're not there yet because we've created the flow part. However, we also need to create an automation flow. Every day, and in this case every weekday at 9:06, we send out the reminders. I choose weekday because, well, this is a work environment. People don't necessarily like it when they receive a notification on Sunday morning at 9:06 when they had the plans to stay in bed a little bit longer. So that's why I set it up like that, and the only thing that we need to do is add the flow part to it, and then you're all set. And we're out. Time to leave the building. Oh wait, no, time to get building. Subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you again next week. Bye!